dialogue with those responsible and to advocate tirelessly for our rights. I call upon my colleague African leaders, civil society organizations and youth groups, and members of the diaspora to join hands in this important endeavor. Let us work together to build a future where justice prevails, where the wounds of the past are healed, and where the potential of every African and person of African descent is fully realized. Let Africa Day 2025 be a turning point. Let us reaffirm our commitment to building a continent of prosperity, opportunity, and equality for all our people. Let the pursuit of reparations be a testament to our resilience, our determination, and our unwavering belief in a brighter future. Happy Africa Day. Let us move together, united in purpose, towards a just and equitable future for all Africans and people of African descent. Since 7th January, every step I've taken is meant to restore the faith of our people in our democracy and let them know that we can lead this country in a way different from what has been done in the past. And so to try to do this, one, the first and foremost was the cost of living and the general hardship that Ghanaians were going through. And so that has been one of the main focuses of the administration in the last 5 months we've been in office, focusing on stabilizing the economy, focusing on reducing hardship, cutting down expenditure, bringing more accountability into government, enacting a strong fight against corruption, introducing codes of conduct to guide leaders in political office. So these are all things that we have, focused on and fast-tracked in the last 5 months. And happily, we have seen a response to the work that we've done, especially when it comes to the economy and hardship and all that. And somebody says, point to one policy that you have implemented to make the CD appreciate. And I said, one policy, it's not about one policy. The answer is effective leadership. With effective leadership, we can turn this economy around and create a better life for our people. And that is what I'm committed to make sure that by the time we finish these 4 years, we'll set a standard in government that whichever party or whichever people come into governance cannot reverse the gains that we have made in restoring our people's confidence in our democracy.
But the paltry economic gains from Galamsey pales in comparison to the devastating and irreparable damage that Galamsey does to our environment, our economy, and to the esteem of Ghanaians as a people. Your Excellency, we propose the following, and we are ready to back you up in all ways to arrest this menace. First, repeal of permissive legal instruments. Audit and repeal legislative instruments enabling unchecked licensing under the Minerals and Mining Act 2006, Act 703, and associated legislative instruments. 2, moratorium on licenses. Immediate freeze on new artisanal and small-scale mining licenses until a full review of environmental and social impact is completed. He believed there should be targeted state of emergency. Declare, Your Excellency, a limited state of emergency in all the affected zones to suspend all mining activities temporarily. Deploy military engineering units for reclamation. Restore lawful local governance and other. And decentralized oversight. Establish district-level mining task forces with civil society and church observers to monitor local operations.
Juma edai nyina yakuma so se ye peka ni papa na wabeje yeko NPP no obobo no elabi awe ni mi ya no wodi nanu ni se mbetuja me de me sumafo enti kakra minim na meti ho akere se ye wura champion wonim de honorable Dr. Brian Champo wonim de ana ni nyuma isusu esani ma o Ghana Rock City Company Limited a hotels chain ono na ne dia eno ne the biggest hotel chain na Africa hejina ana ono so woye miye oya doye yemmem nipa mebre ni saso yeso ena yeko achimote school say ya o nkwala mebre ohonmo ono ye omo papa ono na hwe omu nyina na we nyina ye nema wode be ba abonti na atone kuma so say yeko MPP no hian kabum yehu ne say oni nipa ba ko a osori gina obetimi atwe afanu ni nyina bebomum na enkabomu na fa so aba na yedi abeji Omai Ghana there it can only take an MPP government to develop it and he said out of confusion about party money they say ama NDC for we believe we can always do better now doing better no the champion of it no will be Honorable Dr. Brian Champo. If you Honorable Doctor na reduce the rank or 2 doctors to doctor it is a pair obia or intellectual capacity he is champion the obia or a business mongo so he is there and he we say me na me academician we say me na me business person we there we both the academician and the business person and he kill 2 birds with 1 stone. He is a symbol of victory.
The decision to maintain the monetary policy stance at 28% follows the 124th Monetary Policy Committee's meeting, which commenced from Monday, May 21, and ended on Friday, May 23. Governor of the Central Bank, Dr. Johnson Esiama, who addressed the press, said the monetary policy stance has been maintained at 28% to anchor and encourage the growth in economic indicators being experienced by the Ghanaian economy.
The latest forecast points to continued easing of inflationary pressures on the back of tight monetary policy stance, exchange rate stability, and fiscal consolidation. Inflation is expected to ease faster towards the medium-term target in the first quarter of next year, that is 2026, as opposed to the second quarter as earlier envisaged, and this is barring unanticipated shocks. Despite these positive developments, the committee observed that the current level of inflation remains high relative to the medium-term target and will require maintaining the tight stance to reinforce the disinflation process. Under the circumstances, the committee, by a unanimous decision, maintained the policy rate at 28.0%.
On the rebound of...
What is the difference between the ordinary thief and a political thief? Number one, the ordinary thief steals your money, your bag, your watch, and your jewelry, isn't it? But the political thief steals your future, your career, your education, your health, and your business. Number two, the hilarious part is that the ordinary thief will choose whom to rob. But you are the one who choose the political thief to rob you. Because we choose them. We vote them. We blindly say we are not blind. Who is deceiving who? The ridiculous part of the whole issue is that we will fight to defend and protect our belongings from the ordinary thief. Is it not? But we fight each other to defend and protect the political thief. Is that not what we do? Thugs will be fighting themselves to protect those that are stealing our career. stealing our joy, stealing our health, stealing our success. What a shame.
Government is broke, government is broke. The people are spending billions to go inside the government that is broke. Have you ever seen a minister who resigned because government is broke before? Government has no money. Have you ever seen a governor who said, ladies and gentlemen, when I was elected, I thought the government had money. Now I discover government has no money, I resign. Have you ever seen it? Government has no money, but they are bringing money out at election time. Where is that money coming from? So they are lying. What is happening is that there are two types of wicked people in government. Type 1, they eat current money. Any money they find in government, they will eat it. They are wicked about that one. There is type 2. Type 2, they eat current money and future money. They will say, my term will end next year. When I leave, how will I eat money? Let me borrow money now and borrow money of the future and eat it now.
All right, a very good morning to you, and you're welcome to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana, and today is the 26th of May, 2025. We thank God for having another day to think, talk, and discuss the product Ghana. Anyway, you're welcome to the program, and we'll go through the headlines for now, and then later we'll get into the matters. Let's start off with the Daily Graphic, and I start with visa scam rocks embassy in U.S. Staff create fraudulent accounts. Employees sacked. Galamsey President Mahama highlights progress, challenges, solutions. Maiden Graphic, Ecobank and Ghana Economic Forum Wednesday, economic prospects to take center stage. Business consumer confidence in economy surges, highest level in 7 years. BOG states policy rate at 28%. Well, still high. Still high. 28, still high. Anyway, the Ghanaian Times Needy Fund. I'm grateful. Very VIP thanks Ghanaians for their prayers. AU Day observation. Let's seek justice for our continent. President Mahama rallies colleagues. Reduction in lorry fares. Trotro drivers not in full compliance. Support Ghana Traditional Council Task Force to enforce ban on noise making. Ghana Manche to IGP. Daily Guide. NPP slams NIB over Adenta Kumi arrest. Dame fire sorry. Want to meet storms NIB today after arrest drama. Economic stability preceded Mahama. Adam. Economic stability preceded Mahama. Missing UEW lecturer found buried at his home. The Herald. NPPs want to make cuts with suspicious 51 million Ghana cedis cocoa board cash. Ghana airports in cover-up after Kotoka safety expose turns dereliction to witch hunt. Sadio Sori discredits Godfrey Dami in legal firestorm, calls him incongruous, silly crying baby. Ras Mubarak denounces foreign influence in Africa, praises Traore in AU Day lecture. Architects Institute, Sound Health alerts on Weja Dam spillage. The Daily Statesman, Dami accuses Sori of vile propaganda in CJ removal. Prachi East MCE, Dambai needs modern hospital. Fed Ofie Market draws thousands in unprecedented turnout. We won't compromise on accountability, Minority Leader assures as Parliament resumes tomorrow. Calls intensify on Ablakwa to resign over VIP private jet saga. The Ghanaian publisher, I live in Sori's mind rent-free. Dami returns fire. Minority fires up for fired up for Parliament resumption. Private jets vow hunts Ablakwa. NCC GHS step up child health awareness. The custodian, minorities strategize for Parliament tomorrow. Thaddeus Sori, dummy trade legal blows. Principled Ablakwa under fire, asked to resign over private jet saga. Anodon Pre consoles Adweji residents after fatal clashes. NEIP CEO seeks investments partners in Ohio. Daily Post. Cocoa Board is insolvent, saddled with 33 billion Ghana cedis debts, Randy Abbey. Cocoa Board CEO Randy Abbey reveals 200 containers of cocoa jute sacks and agrochemicals missing. There's something nice about this number 200. I mean, wow. Okay, let's go on. CJ can't resign once impeachment process has started. Eduji returns stolen artifacts and cultural treasures that rightfully belong to our heritage, Mahama, to colonial rulers. The top right corner says that Ghana signs bilateral deal to send nurses and teachers to Jamaica for work. The Business and Financial Times, BOG amends dynamic cash reserve ratio, maintains policy rate at 28%. A legacy of excellence, transformational journey of Kweku Yeboah Esuama at My Life Insurance from 2016 to 2025. Oh, it's a celebration of life there. And in economy, consumer business confidence hits 7-year high. Lack of harmonized standards disrupting intra-Africa trade. Business leaders. In the feature, we have averting financial sector crisis in the future may require nuanced approach to risk-based supervision. An interview says that government must keep up the momentum. David Ampofu here, the CEO of Ghana Upstream Petroleum Chamber. The man everybody says is my father. Every time people meet me, they say, "It's David Ampofu your father?" Anyway, Economy Times. Lending rates decline despite BOG tight monetary stance. BOG operationalized Islamic finance in Ghana soon. BOG to operationalize Islamic finance in Ghana soon. Ghana economy showing strong growth prospects under by favorable external and domestic trends. And that's it for the headlines this morning. We will take a break and be back shortly. I'll introduce the guests who already you've started hearing their voices, but I'll introduce them after the break.
Sometimes the unexpected happens and the hero falls down in his own story. But he needs not stay down for long. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance is your trusted health partner. Whether an individual building a business, with Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern. For the best health insurance solutions for corporate institutions, groups and associations, families and individuals, choose Cosmopolitan Health Insurance from our over 700 accredited health service providers nationwide. Call us on 0302 540 668 or 0501 678 547 for all your health insurance solutions. Cosmopolitan Health Insurance, your medical care is our concern.
Ama, nansi mi general well-being enkoye kwao. Ama ma ye bohu se kontomra akija.
Nansi me hu se me nyo basima kra. Ama me kunu me into kwankwa. Oh, you right. Enye mo ko. Give us GC mixture and the capsules. Aye num boom. En ho asem na mo kana. E boa emma ene meme nyina. Na ma wo ba ye obesima. Na be ma so aye be masima. Ya, we be boa wo kunu. Ama ne giant sa wo de hye ne botum. Na wanyinya nanim ti sese ne wo yi chokmo. GC mixture and a capsule. Achisa.
A pin for a batter, one more menu for one kwada when if you do me
Yes, next. Hey, Nadia Benson, some more.
Me didn't tontum. Mr. Friendly Calico, just call me cockroach. Now, Mr. Friendly once now. Hey, that's you. Improve car. Yeah. Captain was key to double the action. Sasso spray. Mr. Friendly Sasso quell. Yeah, go to my Sasso.
Sasso, come tom preko.
Hello, my friends. My name is Calkit Toothpaste.
Wow.
I was made to be gentle on your gum, but protected. I will protect your teeth from cavity, make your teeth whiter, stronger, keep your mouth fresh all day. And best of all, I'm strawberry flavored. So put on a smile and try me.
That's amazing.
Just try me. That's my job.
If you say so, jump on my brush.
Makes your teeth stronger, chicky whiter, chicky stronger. Yay! You did it!
I'm glad you like your new toothpaste. Don't forget to brush both day and night.
Calkits. Happy smile.
Where to get polytank?
Oh, and you're fine.
Go straight.
Oh, I don't want to left, right.
And that's right. Ghana na ye wono. So when you do more, and ye data. Oh no! Abe, na ye. Me pe polytank ato. Enu ti na me nua ba yo tu pe bia na ba you. O food se bia, e de enjoy ye kura.
Akuya bulambu kotoman. Emu ha.
Like they took my eyes. Go to the distributor and you give the original polytank. You get a sound?
Polytank. Papananka Sankasa.
Join the president of EBID and other leading development experts live on June 3rd, 2025 from 11 a.m. GMT on Metro TV Ghana, DSTV Channel 277 and EBID's digital platforms for the President's Roundtable on Unlocking Food Security in West Africa through Agricultural Transformation. Having financed over $113 million in agriculture and agribusiness projects and programs to build resilient food systems across the ECOWAS sub-region, EBID has prioritized tackling food insecurity in the sub-region in its Strategy 2025 with the aim of assisting member states to attain SDG 2 and SDG 3. Dr. George Ejekum Donko, President and Chairman of the Board of Directors of EBID, will be joined by leading development experts to discuss and share their collective experiences and perspectives on addressing food security challenges in West Africa, as well as finding innovative ways to ensure food resilience in the region. ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development. EBID, transforming ECOWAS communities.
All right, you're welcome back. Now, let me introduce a guest to you. Okay, let me do this before I go to the guest by recognizing the team that's been supporting this program, and that includes Blue Jeans Energy Drink. Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been on the Ghanaian market for 20 years. We already know what it does for the body, providing vitamins and minerals like vitamin B2, B3, B6, B12, as well as taurine and guarana. So we know what it does for the body, strengthens us, gives us energy, performance improvement, and also endurance. Blue Jeans Energy Drink has been tested and tried, and we know what it does. So for bulk purchase, if you want to purchase in bulk, please contact Budget Cash and Carry Limited on 020-812-8190 or 055-001-0000. Right, so that's it for Blue Jeans. But let me also remind you of what Polytank also has been to us. Polytank has been on the market for many years. It gives you some types. Remember that Polytank also comes with, full strength. It is what has been on the market for a long time, for many years. That's what you've trusted. It comes with the types of Rambo, Hippo, Sumo, and Super Sumo as well. Durability is definitely assured. Papano Ankasa, that is the message from Polytank to you. But I also have the Papano Ankasa on my platform. Today, I have Tabitha Apianyere Ayila, and she is a member of the NPP communications team. She was here with me, I think, 2 weeks ago. Tabitha, were you? 2 weeks? Last week. Oh, last week you were here. Hey. Oh, okay. Why? Because sometimes you run shifts. I thought it was 2 weeks ago.
That was last week.
Oh, I'm having it mixed up. Anyway, you're welcome. You're welcome once again. Thank you. Thank you for coming. How's the NPP?
The NPP is fine. We are very good. Despite the pressure that has been mounted so far, the recent arrest that has been going on, but everything is fine with us. We are strong in spirit, and we believe that the rule of law will definitely take its course, and no amount of intimidation can cause us to coil. I don't see that happening anytime soon. I think what the NDC should be doing now is they should be concentrating on delivering on their social contract to the people of Ghana. The witch hunt doesn't really count.
Okay, I'm going to go there.
Sure.
Let me just take this opportunity to introduce Professor Benedict Ayariah Fosu-Mensah, who has, in fact, when I saw her, I said, Happy New Year. She's been missing for God knows how long. Prof, you're welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome back. How are you?
I'm fine.
Where have you been? Some appointments?
Not yet.
You're on a board? Yeah, some CEO. Oh, appointment hasn't come yet.
We'll talk about
but all the people on this platform have been appointed. Oh.
Yeah,
if they don't appoint you, I will not agree. Including my own. Anyway, you're welcome.
Thank
you're welcome.
you.
But, deals are happening. Talks are going on in quarters, eh?
Oh, yes. Yes.
So we should be expecting something.
We'll talk in chambers.
Prof, you're welcome once again.
Thank you.
How was your? Good to see you. Good to see you. Yeah. But you're still in school. You're lecturing.
Yes,
you're doing all that.
Yes.
How are the students doing?
They're doing great.
Are we enjoying the first year? What's the policy name?
No stress.
Feeling.
Oh yes. I said, His Excellency John Dramani Mahama promised, and he will deliver. As you can see, the first 5 months in government, we are seeing a free fall of the, an appreciation of the cedi. We are seeing some reduction in prices of goods and services. And these are promises he made to Ghanaians, and he has delivered. And so also with the stress-free fees, he said he would provide free fees for the first years. They are collating the data and very soon.
There were complaints. I don't have my phone, and those of you, if people have been trying to reach me, I'm sorry, my phone broke, so I am unable to reach anybody or do anything. It's literally inactive. So if you're trying to reach me, I would have made reference to a statement, sent to me about those who had already done their payments. And I think there was some clarity of either shifting that payment into the next semester or the option of refunding. I don't think refunding was an option. I think moving it into the next semester.
I think the story I also heard is that they would shift it to the second year. So you've already paid the fees. Instead of refunding to you, I mean, sometimes it can be very problematic refunding fees. So instead of paying in second year, so government pay on your behalf in second year instead of first year. Because the agreement is for first year. And the individuals have already paid for first year before government, took over and also settled. And so they are saying that instead of refunding, they will pay for second year, which is almost the same thing.
Okay, so it has been noted. At least those who have paid, they've been documented so that there isn't that. But the whole idea was, stress-free, what?
Yes, normally the issue is that people find it difficult getting money to pay their fee, especially for the
first entrance. And
we know that normally they say once you enter, you will find a way to complete. And so the idea is to reduce that burden, that stress on parents trying to get money to pay for fees for their awards. There are times, some students are not able to report on time or completely not able to even go to the university because they are not able to get money to pay their fees. So the idea is to reduce that burden with the belief that once you enter, you would definitely maneuver or be able to complete. But of course, government took over 7th January. By then, admissions have already been made. And normally when they give admission, because the university authority knows that students do not normally buy one form, they buy 2 or 3. And there's a possibility that the students have gained admission, they say in Legon, have gained admission in Tech, and probably UDS or elsewhere. And so they will want that commitment from the student to be sure that you will report to this particular university. So you are asked to pay a fee normally maybe 1 week after admission to make sure that the person can, because there are times people gain admission but they turn it down because they've gotten a better offer maybe in some course or other things. So government realized that before they could settle down, people have already paid their fees. But it's a promise and they have to fulfill the promise. So it's instead of refunding the money, we just pay for the second year, which is the same as what they would have done.
Okay. All right, so maybe some clarity from the lecturer to you. Tabitha, you were making a point, but I just want to put everything in context so that just in case people were not following all the updates that was happening with arrest and release and pictures and attacks last week, you probably will appreciate what has happened so far. So on the front page of Daily Guide, we have the General Secretary for the MPP, Justin Kodua Frimpong, saying that MPP, the headline says MPP slams NIB over Adenta Kumi arrest. We also have, in connection with the same development or the same running story, which is the CJ removal process or procedure, the dummy fire story, and then we also have other headlines that has sorry fires dummy. Okay, so we have this on the front page of Custodian. It says Tadio sorry dummy trade legal blows. Statesman says that dummy accuses sorry of vile propaganda in CJ removal case. The Herald, Tadio sorry discredits Godfrey Dummy in legal firestorm, calls him incongruous, silly, crying baby. Publisher says that I live in Sorry's mind rent-free. The lawyers are, you know, they're at it. So, okay. So those are the stories, but let me just read from the Daily Guide. First, I'll start off with what the General Secretary is saying from page 6 of the Daily Guide. The story says, okay. The story says that the New Patriotic Party has condemned the arrest of Alfreda Baby Kumi, popularly referred to as Adenta Kumi, by the National Intelligence Bureau (NIB), describing the act, describing it as act of intimidation. The General Secretary, Justin Kodia Frimpong, said he received a distress call from Mr. Kumi early Friday morning, during which Kumi said about 20 armed men had surrounded his house, demanding that he come out, although he could not identify them, according to Mr. Kodia. By the time he arrived at Adenta Kumi's residence, Mr. Kodia had already been taken away by the operatives. Quote, "It's appalling that officers, whoever they may be, would act in this manner. The crime, what crime has Adenta Kumi committed?" Mr. Kodia questioned in an interview with the media. So this is someone who, acting as a responsible citizen, submitted a petition to the president after observing what he believed to be wrongdoing. He never received a response, only to be forcibly picked up by the picked up without explanation. He stated that, are they trying to put fear in him? Are they trying to intimidate him? If someone has filed a petition, the right course of action is to be invited, to invite them, not to storm their home without the warrant, he added. The former parliamentary aspirant of the party was arrested by operatives of the NIB following his submission of a petition to President Mahama calling for the dissolution of the committee investigating the suspended Chief Justice Gertrude Isabah Tokono. Now, take note that this is the angle the Daily Guide writes it, as though Adenta Kumi presented a petition, and then after the petition, he was picked up. We do not know that he was picked up because of the petition. So we're not going to, you know, side with that, but that's the reportage according to the Daily Guide. So, you know, in another development, Adenta Kumi released from NIB custody. A youth activist of the New Patriotic Party, a former parliamentary aspirant of Alfreda Baby Kumi, popularly known as Adenta Kumi, has been released from custody of the National Intelligence Bureau (NIB). His release on Friday night followed a high-level discussion between the security and officials of the NPP leaders, led by the Minority Leader of Parliament, Alexander Afenyomarkin. Adenta Kumi was arrested on Friday, May 23, 2025, and charged with the publication of false news. So, I'm reading from the same paper. He was charged with the publication of false news, as confirmed by his lawyer, Clement Opoku Jemfi. The charges stemmed from comments he made on X, formerly Twitter account, and during a radio interview regarding a petition he submitted to the President of Ghana. Now, this petition calls for the dissolution of the committee currently investigating the Chief Justice. In the petition, Adenta Kumi alleged misconduct by the members of the judiciary that he claimed could compromise the integrity of the inquiry. Specifically, he stated that on May 15, 2025, after the committee inaugural sitting, Justice Poamang and Adibu Esiedu, along with Supreme Court Justice Yoni Kolendi, were seen dining with Tadiosori, counsel of the petitioner. So Daniel Ofori at the Santoku restaurant in Accra, in airport residential area in Accra. Adenta Kumi further alleged that the group was overheard discussing matters related to the ongoing petition. And that is what I think was the... I'm sorry, if you can take this video down, I'll be grateful. Don't give us the restaurant videos. I'm sorry. The reason is that there are other people, you know, strangers in the video, and they didn't permit us to put them on air. So let's be cautious. Now the case has gathered significant. Okay, the case has gathered significant political attention due to its implications of judicial independence and freedom of expression. The party's General Secretary, Justin Kodia-Frimpong, argued that his arrest was politically motivated while expressing outrage over the handling of Kumi's arrest during the interview on City Prime News. We believe it's linked to the petition until the NIB provides a different explanation. That is what we all know. So that he submitted a petition to the president this week and has received an acknowledgement and has not received an acknowledgement. He said that Kodia-Frimpong also claimed that Kumi's wife suffered a miscarriage following the dramatic. I spoke with the mother of Kumi, and she confirmed this on Good Afternoon Ghana, that the wife of Adenta Kumi was pushed into some corner and she fell and she started bleeding. So they rushed her to the hospital and she suffered a miscarriage. Okay.
Question.
So that's the angle from which the Daily Guide captured the story. Herald also is talking about the trading between Tadiosori and Dami. Tadiosori discredits Kofre Dami in legal firestorm, calls him incongruous, silly crying baby. And I'll just capture a few of Tadiosori's write-up. It is captioned, "And still crying, even more incongruously, part 1. So, friends and family, thank you sincerely for the advice. I truly appreciate it. I'm doing this. It's for 2 reasons. There are signs that the crybaby is learning. So there is hope he might eventually turn around. 2, that's we do not suffer spoiled children. We do not suffer spoiled children. So 2, in a response to my last post, he screamed that I'm obsessed with him. My criticism of him is unethical. 3, as Attorney General, the judiciary has shown better steel than independence. Never mind the many polls that say otherwise. I've distorted facts in my criticism. I lost a case against him, the title of which he neither mentions nor clarify. He never claimed that he never lost the case. Anyway, so these are the allegations, according to story, are being made about him, or statement being made about him by Dami. I honestly don't believe Crybaby wrote that response. For if he did, it's quite incongruous with how he admits I have MPP-affiliated clients, yet in an interview with Joe FM insists that because I represent a client who has presented a petition against the Chief Justice, the petition is NDC-driven. This is incongruous logic. I jump to point 6. He says that's why in my last interview he couldn't end without mentioning my name. That's how Crybaby ended my last response. I mean, it has been a trade. Dami is also saying that I live in Soris' mind rent-free. Dami returns fire. I'm not sure. Okay, so the story also says that court will give a decision. Oh, continue from page 3. Oh, okay. Page 3 says that former Attorney General and Minister for Justice Godfrey Dami has accused prominent lawyer Tadiosori of being obsessed with his legal career and launching unprovoked public attacks. In a statement dated May 24, 2025, Dami described Sori's persistent criticisms as bewildering obsession that amounts to stalking, declaring, "I have lived in your mind rent-free." Dami rebuked Sori for what he called a pattern of abusive and offensive language, which he claimed falls foul of unethical standards, of the ethical standards and expected of lawyers. Your obsession with Godfrey Dami is bewildering and needs healing. He wrote, adding that Sori's conduct is deplored by most decent-minded legal petitioners. I want to jump the sentences. Okay, so your predilection to comment on the slightest thing, I do say, is not lost on the public. For some time now, you have been expending enormous energy, time, and resources to launch public attacks on me in relation to my work. I live in your mind was free. Indeed, your obsession with Godfrey Dame is bewildering and needs healing. Okay, I'll jump. I think that's a full caption of what Godfrey Dame said. Okay, so that's the lots that has happened in connection or with regards to the CJ's removal. Now, Tabitha, let me come to you. So you were making a point that you think this whole thing is, creating fear and panic in a system.
Not necessarily. I'm saying that the MPP, we are not actually perturbed or disturbed by their disturbance, their political witch hunt, because if you know that your hands are clean, you don't have anything to worry. I think even today, Wontumi has indicated that he will be meeting with them today. He's available to give them any information that they may need in their investigations. I think all the appointees of MPP or Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo are ready to give any information that the nation may need. It's not the Rambo-style arrest that will do anything, even if there is anything to even revisit. I think we should be talking about people that have been convicted by a court of competent jurisdiction in the country who decided to bolt, and I'm talking in reference to the former Maslock CEO who has bolted, and we are yet to find her. I'm yet to hear that any appointee of the Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo administration has bolted or has left the country because they are not ready to probably give any information for any investigations to be done.
But the former Maslock CEO, she's been jailed in absentia.
In absentia, yes. So she has to come.
She has to come where?
Back to Ghana.
If she's really running away, she will not come, if that's her intention.
That's the thing. So it means that even if she's been jailed and she's not there to, do her time, it means what? What does it mean? It means that she's still a free woman. And I think the NDC should be rescuing themselves first, even before trying to, get other people involved. We are all aware what happened when the NDC won power. The AG came out and publicly declared some cases, null and void, and decided to discontinue those cases. I was particularly excited to hear that Chachu decided that they will make sure that they go through the process and then get his client freed of all charges that were leveled against him. I think that was what should have been done, but they decided to, discontinue all those cases. And you see, it is okay to discontinue those cases because you have the power to do that. But even if you think you are suspecting some appointees of the MPP of some crimes whatsoever, don't you think it is incumbent on you to come prepared, to come make your arrest with evidence or whatever? Be prepared to prosecute people. Don't go out there making it look like you are only witch hunting, because we are yet to get anything, coming from all these arrests that have been done so far. There is really nothing to report about. Nobody has been put before any court yet. I haven't heard that. What is going on? Are we just interested in ransacking people's homes?
Dubois is in court.
Yes.
Dubois is in court.
He's in court, yes. Was he an appointee of the MPP government?
Yes.
I think he rose to that level. That was what I gathered. I thought he rose to occupy that position he was occupying.
But that's the political appointment. It's not just rising.
Oh,
for the office he was occupying, it has to have that political backing.
Okay.
Because it was sensitive enough. Well, within the security installation, you can't just...
Okay, so far, if he's the only person who has been put before the court, that is okay. I think they should be doing that more instead of just, raiding people's homes without any concrete, evidence.
Is that to suggest that there are more criminals they should go after?
No, that is not to suggest. I'm only saying that there is no need for
because
any
you said they
witch
should do
hunt.
that more.
It's better, you know, because you give the person an opportunity to defend him or herself. For instance, we heard from what happened in Adenta Kumi's house. He lost his unborn child. That is unfortunate. You understand? According to what we are gathering, about 20 vehicles were loaded with security personnel to just go and arrest Wontumi. Meanwhile, we are all aware that Wontumi's account and whatever has been frozen. The man has nowhere to go. So why the need, you know, to use so much funds, public funds, to go and arrest one man who is probably unarmed, okay? And you go to the person's house, raiding the house just to make arrest. You're all aware what happened to the former BOG boss, how his house was raided. The security aid to the vice president, how they went to his house, you know, destroyed properties just to, you know, gather whatever information they were thinking that they needed to gather. I think it is time for us to, you know, call the NDC to order. I don't know if the president is aware of these behavior. I don't know if he's aware. But if he's aware and he's keeping quiet, then it is something that we should be sad as a country. Because we are not in, like, you know, they didn't win the elections by the gun. They won it through the ballot. And we have a constitution. The constitution should be seen to work. Let us make sure we follow due process. Let the laws of the country work. I think that is just the first thing. Another thing has to do with, you know, the recent Godfrey Dami and then Mr. Soris, you know, their I don't know how to call it, but I think what is going on with the
trade of attacks.
Yes, the legal mind, the legal people is that probably one is suffering from, I don't know, excuse me to use this, if it is not right, I retract, inferiority complex on the part of Thaddeus. Sorry, I don't know, because, you know, this young, brilliant man who happened to be the former Attorney General under Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo's tenure has proven to be an astute lawyer, not only one that has won cases in Ghana, but also outside the shores of Ghana. We are aware he won cases that could have caused this country to make a lot of, you know, they call them judgment debts to foreign people. But then we were rescued from all these debts because of the kind of, you know, legal, this thing that he mounted outside the shores of Ghana. Now we come back to the domestic issues of our legal affairs, and this man also won cases. He even cited cases where he won against the legal brain, Thaddeus, sorry if I'm not getting his name right, correct, sorry about that. Thaddeus was once, you know, that they were in a legal battle somewhere 2007 to 2009. He won the case. He decided to appeal again, and they went and he won another. He won again after he appealed in 2013. And he has indicated that he doesn't only win cases domestically, you know. When you go to outside the shore, like outside the shores of Ghana too, he wins cases. So it's not like he doesn't know his stuff. He knows his stuff. He knows what he's doing. The young man, I know, has a bright future in Ghana, and not only in Ghana, outside Ghana. He didn't even choose legal brains outside the shores of Ghana to help us with our cases. he did that, you know, with his team, and they won a lot of cases. And so I think that it is not wrong, you know. The young can come and then do better. And a classical case has to do with David and Daniel and his siblings, where the siblings thought that he was too young to have all those blessings that the Lord had blessed him with, and they decided to, you know, kill him and all those things. Finally, he became somebody that rescued his family from starvation and other things. So if Thaddeus thinks that the young man is too brilliant for him to stand, I think it doesn't call for any attacks. If possible, you can always learn from people. It's not wrong to learn from somebody that is younger than you. I think that's what I have to say concerning the trade of insults between the two. Now, when you look at other things going on in the country, you know, last week we made mention of Hajj and what was going on. I think today there's a story that is being covered by City, where they are talking about Hajj pilgrims having a lot of challenges. And even the Hajj board, you know, Alhaji ABA Fuseni has come out to apologize to pilgrims. There's a saying that if your mother is dead and you come out and tell people that she's sleeping, it's the stench from her decaying corpse that will, you know, expose you. Now people are talking. People are starving there. They say they eat once a day. People are in rooms where there are no ACs, and the sanitary conditions in some of the hotels, not anything to write home about. So it's not, we shouldn't make everything politics. If the government is not having the financial muscle, you know, to reduce the burden on pilgrims, I think it is better they leave it as it was, you know, just to give the people a befitting Hajj experience instead of, you know, reducing the quality of Hajj, making it, you know, unattractive to pilgrims. That should be addressed. The same political, you know, hypocrisy was shown when they decided to say that they were going to fight against illegal mining. We have seen what is going on currently. Illegal mining has become worse. It's worse. Let me quote the words of Erastus Asaridonko. He said it is worse under the NDC. And I think the NDC should understand that it's not all about propaganda. It's about working. I don't know if they are still in honeymoon, like our president indicated. But if they are still honeymooning, I think it is time they woke up from that and faced reality. And faced reality. The Catholic bishops are also talking. They are asking for a state of emergency to be declared. I know Parliament will be resuming tomorrow. One of the things they should be looking at is to call for a state of emergency. I'm not the one calling for it. Catholic bishops who, you know, demonstrated against illegal mining during the campaign are out there saying it. Now you have people from the NDC, you know, taking mining concessions from people that have legally acquired those concessions. And you have people like Mustafa Bande coming out and defending this. It is sad. It is really sad.
What did Mustafa Bande say?
Yeah, he said yes, they even though they took the concession from the rightful owners, it has been given out to you know, a different party faithfuls. Let me get that news item.
It's been given to party faithfuls.
Yes.
Okay, I haven't heard that comment from Mustafa.
Oh, Mustafa Bande said. I think that interview was covered by Joy, and Erastus was the one that made those. That Mustafa Bande confirmed to me that national security took over the mine site to be given to their party people. Erastus Asaridonko made this known.
You're reading from where?
Joy.
What's the headline?
Okay, so he was interviewed. That fight against Galamsey, where are we in the fight? This story was done, I think, 4 or 5 days ago on Joy Prime. Joy Prime Morning Show. So these are the realities on the ground. Okay, these are the realities. And so I think the NDC needs to set up their promises that they made to the people of Ghana. It is time for them to redeem their image. We don't feed off propaganda. It's the results of what you have done. I heard the president saying that good governance is what is getting the cedi to appreciate against the dollar. Look, let me be honest with you. The NDC, or should I say the MPP, will be happy to even see the CD do 1 Ghana to $1. We are not against that. We want it to be better. If not, we would have decided that no, we won't hand over power. We handed over power because we thought that no, let's respect the views of Ghanaians. They think these people can do better than us. Let's give them the chance. And so let's put propaganda aside and let's be seen to be working. And when opposition party is doing their work, let's also allow them do their work. Opposition party is supposed to be there to ensure that there are checks and balances. And that is exactly what we are going to give to the NDC going forward.
You were making some comparison with Thaddeus and Dami, and you thought that, you said Thaddeus has an inferiority complex.
I said, for lack of a better...
Comparatively.
Yes, I think so. I think so because that is from what Dami is saying. Dami said something very profound. He said, your obsession with Godfred Dami is, or somebody said, yeah, so
yes, he's the one that said it.
Yeah, with Godfred Dami is bewildering and needs healing. Or probably it has to do with, inferiority complex.
So
is
it just that comment that makes you think that Godfred is a better lawyer and a more effective lawyer compared to Sorry?
No, Godfred actually indicated that he has won a lot of cases. Okay? Not only against other lawyers, but even his very good self.
Has he lost cases before?
Oh yes, he indicated that he has lost cases, even as AG.
There's a case that he lost on the international front.
Yes.
Which costed Ghana, I think, 170, at a million or billion, I have to check. And it was due to negligence. The word was negligence.
Okay.
And it's the same Dami you're talking about.
Yes, it's the same Dami. And Dami made it clear that, yes, if they think he won those cases because probably he fixed those cases, there are cases he has also lost. He indicated it in his write-up.
$170 million.
Yes, he indicated all those things. He considered that there were times he lost cases, and there were times he won cases. Yes, and he has even won cases against Thaddeus Sorry.
Yes, but
and there is no
record. Sorry
also
won cases against other lawyers. Yes.
Sure, but not him.
So because he hasn't won
cases. So it has to do with the two of them.
But did he state the case he won against Thaddeus Sorry?
Oh, yes, he did.
Because Thaddeus Sorry also stated that you have claimed that you won case against me, of which you have not been able to mention the specific cases you won against me.
Okay, so let me go to where he said that. That have you forgotten that in the only full trial of a case you and I happen to be on opposing sides between 2007 and 2009, when you were at Derry & Co., you lost miserably, poto, as we say in Ghanaian parlance, when judgment was delivered by Ofosu Kwate, sorry if I didn't get the name right, G, in May 2009, unperturbed, you led your clients to pursue an appeal at the Court of Appeal and lost again in a judgment delivered on 25th July 2013. Was I the Attorney General in those years? He made allegations against him that he fixed matches and won. But he wanted to make it clear that, yes, I have won cases. In fact, I have even won one against you, which you appealed and I won again.
And this is what Thaddeus
And he also indicated that he has also lost cases.
So this is what Thaddeus said in response to that. He said, I've lost a case against him, the title of which he neither mentions nor clarifies. What does that tell you?
Kindly take that again.
I've lost a case against him, the title of which neither is mentioned nor clarified.
Okay, so I think this response will have to come from, Dami himself, because I have only read to you.
He never claimed that he's never lost a case. I mean, Dami is trying.
No, Dami
is trying to tell you.
Dami considered that he has lost cases. He considered both locally and...
Yeah, so the logic is, if you have run cases in court before and you've lost it, How do you use that as an attack on another lawyer?
No, you know, the attack is because, you know, it's like there's some level of obsession. Why Dami? Why has he turned his guns towards Dami? Why is he so critical about Dami? So if he takes that position, Dami will need to come out, you know, and defend himself. You can't just be there and then somebody will be throwing missiles at you and then you keep quiet. He has come out. He indicated that he has lost cases, but has also won cases, even against Thaddeus. That's why I said if he wants the title of those court cases to be mentioned, I'm not in that position to mention them. I can only tell the years he said they went and the judge that gave that verdict, and which I mentioned earlier. Yes, so I think Dami has a good case. He's a young man, and I think Thaddeus shouldn't, you know, go that far with him. That's my position.
Well, that's a fair comment.
Yeah, I think he shouldn't
go. If you say that he's a young, because I know that, I'm not sure if that case has, you know, come to an end or that investigation, because Dami currently was dragged before the GLC over misconduct. And he's currently under investigation. I don't know if there's a concluded report on it.
Not yet.
But if you make the comment that, I mean, Dami is a younger lawyer as compared to Thaddeus.
No, in terms of age, not necessarily in terms of practice or whatever. I'm just talking about age. And, you know, in our cultural setting, age plays this thing. And I think the grown-up should rather be the one to, you know,
keep it calm.
Yes, because, you know, the reason is simple. You have a lot to lose.
You think so?
Okay.
Yeah, you have a lot to lose.
The aged rather has a lot to lose.
That's what I think.
The younger one also has a lot to save.
Oh, no, not necessarily.
The younger one has a lot to save. You have
not
your
necessarily.
whole life ahead of you.
You know, we can pardon the young one. But you, the grown-up, you should know better. That is what I think. That is how we were brought up. We, as, you know, as a grown-up, you should show leadership at all times. It doesn't really matter. Yes.
Prof, this whole thing has come about because of the CJ and the processes that are being, you know, rolled out. The arrest, the attacks now, the you know, talks, the lies, the truth, everything that's happening is actually due to the CJ situation. But she made a comment. She actually said that if you don't have anything to hide, I mean, why do you have to worry about? But I mean, you know, that comment really comes back to bite the situation that, okay, so if you don't have anything to hide, why are we, you know, beating ourselves? Why not allow the process? Because so far we obviously have not heard any legal accusations or allegations being made against the process or the president. It's all about, I think, morality and, you know, the threats and the fear of the optics it creates around the matter itself.
Good morning to you and then to my co-panelists, and good morning to our cherished viewers. Annie, you see, what's happening is that MPP is still dazed with their loss. They still cannot come to terms that with all the gymnastics, they still lost this election. And not just losing, but they lost massively. And you can see from my co-panelists' submission that because of the manner in which they are dazed and they cannot believe that today they are in opposition. It was all over, from arrest to Galamsey to honeymoon, everywhere. And that shows how dazed they are. If anybody would talk about rule of law, it shouldn't be MPP. If anybody should complain about witch hunting, it shouldn't be MPP, because they did worse. They did things that the ordinary Ghanaian couldn't believe. If you're talking about honeymoon, it shouldn't be MPP, because 5 months into governance by the NDC, we have seen how well the city is performing. we have seen that the average Ghanaian is better off today than they were just last year or in December.
Of which the credit should not be given to you, according to the former finance minister.
You know, for these people, every bad thing is caused by...
Economic stability preceded Mahama.
For them, every bad thing is by COVID, Russia, Ukraine, but the good things, they claim ownership. I mean, just before they ran up to the election, you know, they constituted a whole committee to investigate why the city was performing that badly.
The FX committee.
Exactly. A whole committee. Oh. Now you have one man, one man bringing the city from almost 17 cities to $1 to now 10 point, is it 8 or 10.9? So how can you say that they are honeymooning? Fuel, remember where it was. Today, we've seen a drastic reduction in the amount of fuel per liter. And it has trickled down. The drivers have also reduced the transport fare. That would also, that will also trickle down to price of goods and services. And I'm saying that today, the Ghanaian is better off than they were in, just in December, I won't even say in 2024. In December, they are better off today. Look, if anybody should cry about people arresting in Rambo style, though I don't want to support, you know, people being arrested in Rambo style, but I'm saying that if anybody is to complain, it shouldn't be NPP. Because they did terrible things, even to journalists.
You know,
but all I am saying is that,
sometimes,
you see, the fact is that
even in the house,
yes,
when babies misbehave, they know that they are misbehaving.
Yes.
So you see that they pause and they look at you and they laugh. It means that even babies, when they are wrong, they know they are wrong. If they are in opposition today and they are criticizing, it means that they admit that if it happened in the administration... No, I'm not saying... They literally did not admit. But if you're criticizing what's happening now, it is only automatic that, logically, I will assume that you know that if it happened in your administration, it means it was wrong. But that doesn't take away their rights, that they can say a word or two if they think it's wrong. Because they know that, yes, it was happening, but it was wrong. Then, it can't be right now. You have promised a reset. You can't do the same and say, oh, but you did worse. You understand?
No, you see, I am not trying to support what is happening now. Yes, citizens demand demand that respect when they are being accused of wrongdoing and needs to answer some questions. Arresting somebody in Rambo style, I mean, no Ghanaian would support that. But all I am saying is that if anybody should cry, it shouldn't be NPP because they did worse. But doing worse does not mean that we should do same or we should do something close to what they did. But I am saying that the manner in which they are crying, the manner in which they are going about, you know, giving all kinds of names, they should be the last to do it because they did worse things, even to journalists who were just doing their work. You remember Caleb Kuda, who just went filming, I think it was ambulance or so.
Abandoned vehicles.
And he was arrested and beaten. At that time, they defended it. They said it was national security threat. Today, there's a case in court. The case is being investigated. Somebody is posting videos. Somebody is making utterances to undermine the people who are investigating the case. That is a national threat. Because if you are undermining these people, if the case is ruled, people would interpret that to mean that, oh, the case was ruled probably in favor of one party because of this and that, and that can create a problem. So if the gentleman was invited to come and answer or probably produce the evidence he claimed, he even have more video, I think the last people that should complain should be NPP. Look, we're in this country. When the NPP felt that nobody should accuse them of any wrongdoing. If you complain, they come and pick you up. If they complain, they send their attack dogs after you. So as I said they should be the last to complain. Now, they should just face the music and should not complain. You remember very well the Akonta mine. The then Minister of Lands and Natural Resources said they did not give licenses to Akonta Mining to mine. We had our president then coming to say that Akonta Mining did no wrong. I mean, just that statement alone was conclusive to any investigation because the president appointed whoever who was going to investigate the case. And the president is saying that the gentleman has not done anything wrong. So who dare you to go and investigate and show that the gentleman has committed any crime? Remember Cecilia Dapa's case. When the case came and she wrote a resignation letter, the president said that he accepted and said he knows that at the end of the day, she will prove her innocence. That again was a conclusive statement that any investigation should show that Cecilia Dapa did not commit any crime because the president has said so. So if today you have MPP, talking about the fact that, oh, for now, nobody has been arrested by them, nobody has been in prison, they have imprisoned somebody in absentia, NDC should rather go and chase. They didn't imprison people even in their own party because for them they see no wrong. There were a lot of investigation. But it all turned out not to be, it ended up nowhere. We are seeing what happened in ECG. I just pray and hope that it looks like the case is dying. It will not die. There will be an investigation. And the perpetrator of this wicked act. We spoke
with the energy minister last week.
Would be punished.
He indicated that they're still on its investigation. I think it was a brief interview, so I'm not sure how far they have gone with this 200 ECG containers. But he indicated that they are still
a government at that time, and people could commit such crime, and yet nothing happened. So it means that for them, they see no wrong. They see nothing. I mean, everything is about whatever you can do and get something. So there was grabbing left and right, as if there was no tomorrow. And they did not see anything wrong. And that is why they never prosecuted their own. When there were evidence, you remember even the issue of Galamsey and the fact that why they could not fight Galamsey because the people who were supposed to fight Galamsey were right in the act. Professor Frepong Boate's report, what did they do with it? They kept it in a fridge to be frozen. At the end of the day, he became what? A victim of circumstance. They were not going after him. His own party was going after him because he came to spill their beans. He came to tell the truth that, look, we cannot fight Galamsey. We cannot pretend that we are fighting Galamsey when our own people are involved. And we had videos, voices, who said what? Patini Hiasika. Today, the same people are saying that they didn't imprison anybody. They are clean people. Nobody can say that NPP are bad or the people have committed crime during their era because there's nobody jailed. We have seen somebody who is now in court, Edu Boahen, accused of diverting money to a private account. I know ECG, if they go and investigate, there will be more of such cases. Now it is coming up that even outside the country, people are diverting money into their private accounts. These are people who are saying that they see no wrong. And for that matter, nobody has been in prison. I can bet you that within these 4 years, I am not a prophet of doom, but people will go to jail for being wicked to Ghanaians. How on earth can you just go and offload cables that cost millions of dollars in bushes, uncompleted places, and then you come and tax the ordinary Ghanaian, that we should pay more because we need more money. What kind of wickedness can this be? A government that cared for their own. And yet these people were this wicked to us. They sit here today and they say they have not jailed anybody because they did nothing wrong. People who went and mined in rivers, polluted water, that today you go to communities, they cannot get fresh water to drink. Today we are all eating poison. You are eating fufu and there's a lot of toxins in there. Mercury, cyanide, cadmium. We are eating it every day. And yet they tell us that they have not done anything wrong because they see no wrong. How on earth can people who are supposed to protect us are killing us slowly? You go to hospital, the record shows that the number of cases of kidney failure is going up. And these were the people in charge of affairs. How do you come today, sit on a national television and tell us that you were not jailed because you didn't do anything wrong? If Ghanaians will bear us witness, people should not go unpunished these 4 years for being wicked to us, for taking from us what is supposed to be for all of us. A few have become so rich within 8 years. And they see no wrong. Godfrey Dabi, whom she says, sorry is having inferiority complex because he feels that Dami is more brilliant than him. Was he not caught on tape trying to coerce somebody to victimize an innocent Ghanaian because he wanted a pound of flesh from that person? How can you say that such a person have not committed any crime? Telling somebody, go and lie so we can imprison this person. I mean, that's unacceptable. And today he's being dragged to court for that misbehavior. So I think that, as I earlier on said, if anybody will cry, NPP should be the last because they did worse things. Ghanaians suffered. Can you imagine buying fuel at 23 cedis per litre? You will be in traffic and you are watching your gauge. You spend more than 40% of your salary on fuel. Food prices were rocketing. When we complained, the then Minister of Agric said it was the market women. Poor market women who were just struggling to survive. They were the cause of our problem. They increased the prices of food. And so he went to the hinterland as a mockery to the ministry to bring plantain to come and sell to the ordinary Ghanaian. And then you ask yourself, how many people went to the ministry then to buy plantain? Because for him, a bunch of plantain was selling for 5 cedis, and the market women were selling in 50 cedis. So he brought it to sell. How many people went there? Look, governance is not just about mafu.
Has this all influenced the process in removing the CJ because she's suspected to be MPP and all that bandied about? Because the argument from their side is that this obviously looks like a political witch hunt.
How can it be a political witch hunt? Who are the people who petitioned the president? The CJ was, this petition was there before NDC came to power. Nana Addo Dankwa was petitioned. He didn't act. And the same people sent the petition to His Excellency John Dramani Mahama. He didn't say that they should remove him. Or they should remove her. She just looked at the case, the matter that was brought before him. He asked a committee, look at the case, look at the merit of the case, and then advise me. Then you go about crying. Political witch hunt. Was the NDC that brought the petition against the CJ? I don't think so. Professor Asari was one of them. Is Professor Asari an NDC? You see, these people are afraid of their own tail. They know what they have done, the pain they have caused. They didn't see it coming. I think that they should just relax because it's a long road for them. Opposition is not easy. It's just 5 months. They should just relax and stop running around crying that there's persecution and blah, blah, blah. I mean, if anybody suffered in this country, it was during their regime. Their regime, that even the ordinary market woman was being accused of our problem, food inflation. The ordinary market woman was being accused. They contributed to the increment in the cases of kidney failure we are having in hospitals. Because the time they were supposed to act, they were neck deep in it. You remember when there was an investigation, they went and saw some military uniform, and then the journalist was questioning what was happening, and then a man was calling somebody from above. How can these people today be crying? The CJ at that time, I'm sure, was also aware about all these things and should go to the president and say, look, Mr. President, people are complaining. Yes, we know Galamsey has been there long ago, but the level of destruction to the environment wasn't at this level. We cannot pretend that we are being affected. You see, that's why I always keep telling people that people may think they are very far from Galamsey site. But it is just a matter of time. It is just a matter of time. You see, but the sad thing is that they have the money to go and do implants. They have the money. If they're suffering from kidney, they go and then change their kidney. But what about the two of us? What about the ordinary Ghanaian? Do we have the money? There are people who have been on dialysis for years. They have sold everything that they have. They could have easily gone.
But there's a reason why they are putting pressure on you.
But they are not doing that because they don't have the money.
You know, you're not giving us signs that when it comes to the issue of Galamsey, you're able to, solve it, or you are giving us indication that we can see the light.
What I am just saying is that the NPP is crying too much. They have not seen anything, and they should not pretend to say that they have not been in prison or nobody have been in prison because there is no wrong or there was no wrongdoing during their era. And I can bet you, we are seeing a better improvement in Galamsey today than it was during the NPP. We may not get the results that we want today because, of course, it's not something that we can just end at a time. Though some of us advocate for, yes, this issue of a band, allow the environment to heal itself, allow the water bodies to recover from the level of toxins that had been deposited in it. Yes, I think government will definitely do something about it because, look, we can be sure that the level of productivity will reduce, government will lose more. If its citizens are sick, they spend more time going to hospital, they spend more time on sick bed than to be in offices and working, if this should continue. And we cannot all pretend that whatever that is happening in that forest, that whatever that is happening in that river is not affecting us. We may be far. Look, even people outside the country are also bearing the brunt of this illegal mining. Because look, if you export yam, you can be sure that there's some amount of cyanide, mercury, cadmium, nickel in it there. If you are eating plantain, you can be sure that there is some level of toxins in it. And we have done research that shows that the hazard index is far more than where it's supposed to be, which means that we are all at risk. And children are more at risk. So we are what? Growing a generation that will be a sick generation. They'll grow up, and by the time they are adults to be more productive, they are sick because we've exposed them to these toxins. And yet, we have a government that just allow all this to go unpunished, saying that they have not done anything wrong. It is absurd. And as I kept on saying, they should be the last. But nevertheless, NDC is working hard to make sure that we are able to bring these, if not a complete completion, but to the barest minimum, because the economic cost to the environment is far more than the economic benefit that we may derive.
I just want to put this across. Tabitha mentioned something regards the Mecca situation, and in the Daily Guide, page 13, it says that Ghanaian pilgrims evacuated from Mecca Hotel following emergency situation. Hundreds of Ghanaian pilgrims were Sunday, May 25, 2025, evacuated from their 12th floor hotel in Mecca following what initially looked like an emergency situation. Today's Muslim news portal reported the near emergency situation in the afternoon of yesterday at the Rafaya Al Satin Hotel in Mecca, one of the many housing Ghanaian pilgrims. So there were no casualties. Conflicting reports have emerged about the incident, one of which claimed there was a fire incident and at the structural challenges on the building. So an alarm therefore that there was either a fire outbreak or building collapsing prompted fear and panic among the Ghanaian guests on the 12th floor. First respondents, including firefighters and police, responded promptly to bring the situation under control. So that's some updates that was captured by the Daily Guide with the Mecca, travelers. I know you want to make some responses, but let's just take a breather and come back. When we come back, we'll tie in the economic situation, the city, the magic it's performing. The MPP said the credit is ours. The NDC said we are in power. I mean, it's a lot. But we'll be back shortly to talk about it.
NGL Logistics and Supply is your trusted partner, providing seamless solutions for all your procurement needs. From sourcing products to managing imports and exports, we ensure smooth and efficient transactions every step of the way. Whether you require goods from across the globe or need
Mommy.
Michelle say, fe.
Different era, better result. Time has changed and time has brought Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Healthy gums, anti-cavity, fresher breath, and it whitens teeth. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste. Sankofa.
Yenchi. Kel Charcoal Toothpaste.
Happy smile.
This advert is FDA approved.
Went to get Polytank.
Oh, and you're right.
Go straight.
Oh, I want to left, right.
That's right. Ghana na yewono. So when you jomo and a data. Oh no! Abe, na here. Me pe Polytank ato. Enu ti ta menu aba you to be aba na ba you. O food to be a enjoy ye kura.
Akuya bulambo kotoman. Emua.
Like they take you by so. Go to the distributor and you give the original Polytank. You get a sound?
Polytank. Papananka Sankasa.
I'm a branch manager. Of course, I accept only quality and affordable printed souvenirs for my promotional campaigns.
I'm the head of academic affairs of a very important institution in Ghana. Of course, we only deal with quality, reliable printing companies for our institution's printing materials. I'm talking about appointed time printing.
Appointed Time Printers. We take pride in our extensive print scope that transform your ideas into captivating visual masterpieces. We delve into the core objectives and vision of each print project. Precision printing is at the heart of our printing process as we meet your tight deadlines. Our rigorous inspection, color verification, and overall printing excellence are assured. 20 years of printing excellence. It's always a pleasure working with you to create a vibrant, dazzling printing experience that gives you a masterpiece. Appointed Time Printing, your world of quality and affordable printing.
Cratchy, unemu bua unkoisha Dr. Ban uye denwa.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Yamfan come and me burua. Mami boburo. Don't ya tell me ko bra. Mumi yamfan ko Dr. Ban ho. Dr. Ban o ya de. Bra, se ban no mpemu adwuma sasabro slow Dr. Ban o ye.
Hey, me kwada meka. Oh, no mpemu nimdi ono na ye expect nya zanfo no. O akra any Kumasi no mpemu expect yen kan kire.
Food insecurity in West Africa isn't just a statistic. It's a crisis affecting millions, not because of a lack of land or talent, but because our food systems are struggling under the weight of conflict, climate change, and limited investment. On June 3rd, I have the honor of moderating the President's Roundtable 2025, hosted by the ECOWAS Bank for Investment and Development, EBID. Under the theme Unlocking Food Security in West Africa Through Agricultural Transformation, we'll convene leaders, experts, and change makers for a strategic conversation, one that moves far beyond talk into action. From innovative financing to climate-smart agriculture, we'll spotlight real solutions and real commitments live on Metro TV. Now it's a defining moment for our region, so do join the conversation as well, live on DSTV Channel 277 and EBID's digital platforms. Let's move together from insecurity to food sovereignty. My name is Anita Erskine. It would be an honor to have you join us.
Welcome back to the program. It's Good Morning Ghana. I'm still in the studio with Professor Benedicta Yairafosu-Mensah, who is a member of the NDC, and also Thabita Apianyele Ayila, and she is also a member of the MPP. Still with me in the studio. Let's get into the economy. With the city situation, I'm not sure if any of you checked the current rates. Okay, so the city is bouncing back. But let me make reference to the Economy Times, some of the capturing or stories that have been captured on the front page. Ghana's economy showing strong growth prospects underpinned by favorable external and domestic trends. So it's written by Toma Amerhe. It says that Ghana's ongoing macroeconomic turnaround is finally being rewarded by significant improvement in its key economic performance indicators, and this is in turn engendering strongly growing confidence in the strongly growing confidence in the fortunes of business and consumers alike going forward. Data released by Bank of Ghana last week following the latest meeting of the Monetary Policy Committee points to the lowering inflation, fiscal discipline, the tight monetary policy stance, and favorable external sector development as key ingredients behind the process for introduction of, in the process, let me continue from page 4. In the process, the country's improving economic performance. Headline inflation has declined consecutively in the first 4 months of the year by 2.6 percentage points to 21.2% in April 2025, driven by the lowering both food and non-food inflation. According to a confluence of factors, including tight monetary policy stance, stepped-up liquidity, sterilization efforts, downwards revision in ex-pump petroleum prices, and exchange rate stability have supported the gradual decline in inflation, BOG Governor Johnson Esiama explained last week when delivering the decision of the Monetary Policy Committee retain its benchmark monetary policy rate at 28%. And I still stand with the point that 28%, honestly, is still on the high side. But I'm not sure what we can do about it just immediately. So let's see how that goes. Maybe consumer business confidence hit 7-year high. That's also on the front page of the Business and Financial Times. Page 2 says that the economy is showing signs of robust turnaround as both consumer and business confidence indices surged to their highest levels in 7 years, buoyed by sustained disinflation and a strengthening local currency and improved GDP growth indicators. The renewed optimism underscores growing market trust in the country's economic management and reform trajectory. Now, at the close of 124th Monetary Policy Committee meeting, Bank of Ghana Governor Dr. Johnson Pandis Esiama said that the composite index of economic activity, a composite measure of high-frequency economic activity, rose 2.3% year-on-year in March 2025, more than doubling the growth rates recorded a year earlier. Now, I put that aside and capture the economic position, or the position of a lecturer and an economist. A lecturer at the University of Ghana Business School, Professor Godfrey Bobkin, explained why the cedi's the cedi is appreciating against the dollar or major foreign currencies, especially the dollar. He was contributing to a discussion on TV3 Current Affairs Key Points, and he says that the topic for, okay, let me jump that, the topic, and then he says that as of May 2024, the exchange rate was 11 Ghana cedis to $1, a drop from 15 to $1 at the beginning of the year. Now, Professor Bobkin said the current trend in the value of the cedi is due to effective collaboration in the implementation of fiscal and monetary policies between the Minister of Finance, Cassiel Forson, and the Governor of the Bank of Ghana, Johnson Esiama, on one hand. The other gold reserves accumulated by SWAL New Patriotic Party administration on the other. Goes ahead to say, he also pointed out that more work needs to be done to sustain the gains made. So below is a transcript of the detailed offered by Professor Popkin. I'll pause here and move to the former finance minister, who actually said that the economic stability preceded Mohammed's administration. Oh, I can't find my paper. I just wanted to capture a few of what the finance minister was trying to say. Former finance minister was trying to say. Yes, okay. That is page 6 of Daily Guide, and he said that, The former finance minister and ranking member of the Parliamentary Finance Committee, Dr. Mohamed Amin Adam, has refuted claims by his colleague from the ruling National Democratic Congress that the recent signs of the macroeconomic stability in Ghana are the result of the policy by the new Mahama administration. So in a rejoinder issued Sunday, Mr. Amin Adam argued that the country's ongoing recovery system stems from years of structured economic reforms, not a sudden turnaround by government in power for barely 4 months. Mr. Adam described the Adongo assertion that misleading, emphasizing that the country's improving indicators such as the appreciation, steady decline, inflation, and credit ratings upgrade are built on the foundation laid by the previous NPP administration. The idea of the 4 months of the governance has reversed the country's economic trajectory is not only false but dangerous. The MP for Karaga stated that the economic recovery we see today is a result of the deliberate reforms undertaken between the 2022 and 2024, including the fiscal consolidation, revenue mobilization, and international negotiations to restore the macroeconomic credibility. Okay, so that is the economic language trade between the government and the previous administration. Prof, I'll start with you on this one.
She was the one that responded.
That started the first one.
No, you said you come to me after the break.
Oh, you wanted to make a point before we go into the other issue?
Oh, yes.
Okay, please.
So you see, I think all that Prof did was to lament, and it's unfortunate. I was even surprised she didn't cry like how our forestry minister wept on live TV. You see, I think we need to serve them a notice that they are in government and that they should be seen to be working rather than lamenting. The people of Ghana listened to those lamentations and gave you the nod to rule the country. I don't think we should be repeating this to you anytime we sit here. The question is, what are you doing differently to solve the issues that we are all aware of? They are calling for a state of emergency. Are you doing that for the people? I'm even hearing that the governor of Bank of Ghana is meeting with banks to introduce some form of e-levy. I don't know how that is. It's a news item that has just come today, that the Bank of Ghana governor is meeting with banks to reintroduce some e-levy regarding bank transfers. It's a story that has been covered by City and then Joy this morning. You see, if you come
I thought it was rather with reference to the banks, you know, attracting sudden charges which the Bank of Ghana wanted to correct. That's what I thought, but I'm not sure.
No, that is not it. The news item captured is very clear that BOG to engage banks over reintroduced transfer charges after e-levy removal. So they want to reintroduce transfer charges.
No, not necessarily.
Okay, to engage banks over reintroduced. So who reintroduced the bank transfer charges? They can't.
So read the story. You will get the details. If you like, you read to the hearing of everybody.
Okay. So I think I will have to read that story to just. But the point is that the e-levy, are they doing politics with it? How did they engage with the banks before it was scrapped? And still, the COVID levy is pending. When are they scrapping it? Are they going to do that when they come back tomorrow? It is a question for them to answer. So, you see, let's stop the lamentations and let's face the problems head on. When you look at what the NDC said in opposition and what they are doing now, at times you just see a total, diversion of direction. I'm saying this because the president indicated that his appointees will not shouldn't use expensive means of transport. But we all heard that the vice president came in with a private jet. The question is, couldn't they have gotten her a first-class ticket in the airlines that come into Ghana so that we save ourselves some currency? That's the question some of us are asking. I just read that the presidential jet is currently under some form of maintenance. But the question is, what about first class? Couldn't she have used it? Or she's above using the first class? I don't know. I'm only asking a question. Another thing is, when you look at the Galamsey fight that my professor spoke so lengthy about, we all know the challenges in that area. We don't need you to come and tell us anything. The question is, are you aware your people, as it stands now, after they came out to say they have seized some excavators, those excavators have been released back to the people to go back into mining? Are you aware?
Are you telling us?
Yes, I'm telling her, because she is still lamenting that, the devastation of mining and whatever. And I'm telling her that even as of today, they are releasing excavators to people who are NDC members to go and mine, even this morning. So she should spare us that narrative, and that they should rather be tackling the issues head on. Another thing, as it stands, okay, what do you call it? The communication minister is yet to come and scrap the tax they talked so much about concerning, airtime and then, what do you call it, data. They are yet to do something about that. We are still looking at them to come and cause a change in the system. As I indicated, the MPP is not against accountability. We are ready to account. So if they have any proof whatsoever against anybody, they are allowed any day at all to go ahead and prosecute the people. The witch hunt is what we are frowning against. That is just the point. Another thing has to do with, the CD appreciation. Look, we can do the politics around it, but as I said earlier, even if the CD appreciates to 1 Ghana to $1 today, Tabitha Penrena Ayala, I will be excited and happy about it. Because it is coming to help all of us, regardless of your political whatever affiliation. So I'm all for CD appreciation. I'm all for that. But you see, if the NDC is saying that the introduction of gold, or where we built our gold reserve, didn't have any impact, then that is their problem. I don't want to, belabor this point so much. But the question is, what has the NDC done so far to help with the CD appreciation? And you can tell that they built whatever they were able to do on the backbone that we left behind. We are talking about the reserve, the gold reserve that we have built so far. We are talking about the fact that we have given them more than 3 months import cover. We are talking about the fact that we serviced loans that they are yet to service. I heard somewhere in June or July they will be servicing loans. Have they made any meaningful loan servicing? Have they paid anybody? No, they are not spending. And so what do you expect? They have not even implemented their flagship program, their 24-hour economy. The question is, even with the 8 hours economy, we are having power crisis. How are you going to now solve the 24-hour economy issue that you are trying to introduce? We are asking them questions because we are all interested in seeing Ghana do better. Now you see, we come here and we lament that we are having problems with our power. But we are also forgetting that the NDC is not using money, you know. If you say we are rich, the city is doing well, then you should be able to give your energy minister money to go and buy fuel instead of him coming every day to lament to Ghanaians. I think those very telling questions should be telling us a lot. Yet that has nothing to do with, you know, coming here to do propaganda. If the cedi, as I said, is 1 cedi to $1, somebody like me, and I know a lot of MPP people, will be happy to see that, because that was what we were all fighting for. Now, we can say all these things, and we cannot also ignore the fact that the dollar is actually, you know, stressed. They have their own crisis that they are grappling with. We all know the external shocks, you know, external whatever is also having an influence. We pray that it gets better for all Ghanaians. That is our prayer. Now you come and tell us that the city is doing well, the economy is booming. Meanwhile, lending rates is at 28%. Why are you not reducing it if the city is actually doing so well? Reduce it so that people can go and borrow money and make investments. You see, so that's saying that when the fundamentals are weak, the exchange rates will expose you, can probably come to play later on if they continue to play the ostrich with the city. So let's give them time. As I said, let's give them time. And let's hope that the policies they are bringing on board will actually help the city when they start to spend, when they start to save, you know, push money into their big push, when they start to push money into their women's bank, when they start to push money into their 24-hour economy, when they start to actually push money into the free, they call it what? No stress fee. No stress fee. Let's see what will happen. Because if you have money at hand and you are not spending the money, meanwhile you have a lot of needs you have to cater, and you claim you have money, you don't really have the money. Okay? You need to make sure that there is a balance between your expenditure and whatever you have to as a reserve before you can say that, oh, I'm doing well, I'm rich, or this, or
that's
whatever.
What the previous administration was doing?
No, what I'm saying is that the previous administration had a lot of policies that they were sponsoring. You know, NHIS, they were paying. Free Senior High School, they were paying.
But they did not consider what they had in their coffers.
They didn't.
Because a lot of the times, even there were arguments.
They were building their reserves.
There were even arguments of ECG,
you know,
tariff bills or cost.
That's
that
what I'm
was
saying.
not rising.
That
And
is
the
why
question was, you were not increasing electricity bills at the cost of what? Because a lot of the times, you won't increase electricity bill. That's not because you just have the luxury of not increasing electricity bill. You were sacrificing something for that.
Sure.
And today, if you have the government saying that I'm increasing the electricity bill, you are blaming the government for making hardship or intensifying hardship in terms of paying bills. But there was a reason why you were not increasing the electricity bill, and that did not do any good to us as a people.
You know, the time we were not increasing electricity bills, the losses we were even making in the energy sector was 20%.
Was that your calculation?
That's the calculation we have.
The losses we're making in the energy sector?
Before we handed over was 20%. Now the NDC is doing 40% loss in the energy sector.
Yes, but the energy sector...
And they are even increasing more and putting the burden on the Ghanaian.
By what acts of theirs increase the energy sector losses?
By what acts of theirs? I don't know. Maybe
Because
incompetence in management of
that the CD is rising and is not to be credited to them because they've implemented no policy.
I never said it shouldn't be credited to them.
How are you now
I never said
assigning a 40% losses in ECG to the same party? Or
That's what I'm
the same
saying.
government?
I never said I'm not, patting them at the back for the CD's appreciation. I'm only saying that these are some of the observations that we have made, that they are not servicing debts, they are not pushing money into any of the sectors, and we can see the outcry from the energy minister, okay? And I'm saying that let's hope that after they make those payments, after they have pushed money into these ministries, let's hope that it will still do well, because you cannot play games with the exchange rate at the expense of your people. I'm even hearing that some ministries are complaining that they are not allowed to make any procurement since the beginning of the year, and we are almost mid-year. And if you don't allow ministries to make procurements, the question is, how are they running those ministries? And I'm saying, probably it is one of the reasons why they hurriedly decided to increase tariffs, electricity tariffs. Because if you want to implement a 24-hour economy, and you know the economy you want needs energy, and you are coming to burden the energy ministry, then already you are sabotaging the policy you are trying to implement in advance. Anyway, we are only giving them heads up. We are only telling them that these are the problems that may be staring at you in the future if you do not face the problems head on. That is our point here. And we are saying that even if the cedi should do $1 Ghana, $1, we want it as an opposition party. Because if Ghana becomes good, it is for all of us. That is our point. I never said they didn't do anything to support the cedi to appreciate. I never said so. I am rather asking them to even reduce the lending rates. If they actually claim that the cedi is doing well, they should be reducing it. I remember during Kufuor's tenure...
You just made a point that they have not been servicing debt, and that's not factual.
It's factual.
So I just wanted to, lay the facts bare.
Okay, so I don't know where you had this information from. Probably you could share with me when I'm done with my submission. Probably the servicing of their debts.
So national health insurance.
That's why I said when I'm done. When I'm done with my submission.
You go ahead.
So you see, where was I? At times, some of these interjections, that's what they do to you.
Yeah, but I mean, if you make a point...
Yes, so I was saying that with the lending rates still at 28%, we should be seeing it to go down. I remember during Kufuor's time, lending rates even went down to 15% and 16%. If the cedi is actually doing so well, we should be seeing it going down. It's not anything to actually have problems with reducing your interest rates if you think that you have enough. So you see, the NDC as a political party, they need to rise to the occasion and accept that the challenges we have, they are the people who are supposed to solve it as at now. For the next 4 years, they are the people in charge. And so when we come with our problems, they should be facing us with what? Solutions, not lamentations from their side. That is the point I wanted to make.
Okay,
then you were talking about some debts being serviced. So far, what have they serviced?
You said you didn't want me to interject, so I was just going to read this to you. That in less than 50 years, Mahama has borrowed 59 billion. And this was some of the accusations and allegations coming, not allegations, accusations coming.
But they have also borrowed.
So I'm just going to read
yes.
It. And then we made the point clear, but that if we're borrowing, what were we borrowing for? So Inshaiso lawmaker Stephen Amwa has said that in just less than 50 days, the Mahama administration had in place, a government that borrowed 59 billion Ghana cedis. Dr. Amoah said that while they're addressing the press in Parliament on February 27, 2025, during the State of the Nation address presented by John Dramani Mahama, all the payments, he quotes, all payments the president is referring to, where did he get the money from? In less than 2 months, the NDC government has borrowed almost 59 billion Ghana cedis, an unprecedented amount. Ghanaians have given them a mandate and they must be held accountable, Dr. Amoah said. Now, in a sharp response to this is what the minister said, the finance minister said in terms of borrowing. And these monies were borrowed to service debts, actually. Now, Minister for Finance, Kese Lato-Forsen has emphasized that the current administration led by the John Mahama administration has zero debts to its name. According to him, the only debts the government owes are those inherited from the previous administration. He said that the total treasury bill bids received by the government stands at 89.7 billion Ghana cedis. That's what Forsen wrote on his X page, February 28, 2025. For the record, the T-bill bids received by the Mahama government since January 10, 2025 stands at 89.7 billion. He explained that one of this amount, total T-bills bids accepted being rolled over of debt inherited by the Mahama administration, stand at 59.5 billion Ghana cedis, while total T-bills bids rejected by the government stands at 30.2 billion Ghana cedis. So he clarified the claims that his government borrowed 59 million in less than 2 months' office. For the avoidance of doubt, net borrowing by the Mahama administration as of today stands at 7.1 billion Ghana cedis. So if you do the deduction of how much we owed and what was borrowed to pay, then the remainder, obviously, the math will give you 7.1 billion Ghana cedis.
So they borrowed how much? 7.1 billion per. From where did you get this? Your source, the source.
I'm actually reading this from Ghana Web.
Ghana Web.
I read
okay.
the first one from 3 News page.
Okay.
I mean,
so they have borrowed per.
It's just all over. Every media house captured the details.
No, I just want the stats. They borrowed 7.1 billion according to what you read, and how much have they serviced so far? I think they made that summary.
Sorry?
I think they made that summary at the...
Yes. You want me to read it to you again? So he clarified a claim that government borrowed 59 billion in less than 2 months. For the avoidance of doubts, net borrowing by Mahama administration as of today stands at 7.1 billion because it's primarily a buffer for the servicing of maturing and accumulated.
Okay, so the 7.1 billion was borrowed.
Was a remainder.
And then how much was serviced in the form of, paid as servicing loans? I just wanted to find out.
How
that one is there. Because I indicated that they haven't been servicing loans.
They have.
And you said they have.
Yes,
and
that's
I want
what
to
I
find
just read
out
to you.
Okay, so you said they have borrowed 7.1 billion.
Yes.
So
that is the math after the payment was done. So after the payment was done,
the net. What I want is how much have they paid in the form of servicing loans and how much have they borrowed? That is all I'm asking for.
But yes, I must come because I can't be educating you on this one, right?
No, it's like I didn't get the figures. That's what I'm asking.
Why didn't you get the figures? Because of time, I just can't go over and over.
Okay, so I will get it.
There was an accusation that the administration had borrowed 59.5 billion, right? And then they made the payment of 59 billion of accumulated debts. What's it called? Of maturing debts. So after that, the math leaves us 7.1 billion Ghana cedis left. So that one you can actually, put it at the doorstep of this government.
So it means that they have...
The whole noise that was being made that, the government has borrowed 59 billion, is just to service the debt that has accumulated, that has matured.
Okay, so it means...
when you say, I'm just saying that when you say that they've not been servicing, that's not entirely
Sure, and that is why I said it's good you brought that up. So it means that they have actually borrowed more than they have service debt, isn't it?
No.
Because if you said they borrowed about 59.5 billion and they have service debts and they are left with 7.1 billion, isn't that what you said?
Okay. Let me have Prof come in.
Okay, so
I think you can do the checks.
Kindly share with me that.
I'm sharing with you, so Prof, yes.
So that I get that clear.
Yeah, Annie, I think that Tabitha this morning is misleading Ghanaians. First of all, she made a point that the NDC is reintroducing e-levy in another form.
I thought that was clarified.
That was a misleading statement. The heading can be misleading, but when you read
the heading
the
is actually
story,
very confusing if you're not careful.
yes.
Yeah.
So you don't just read something, just the heading, and then conclude. What is happening is that the Bank of Ghana is saying that some commercial banks are charging some fees that they are not supposed to charge because customers have complained that they've seen some increase.
In fact, it's even said that it has resulted in reduction in deposits.
Exactly. So they are going to investigate, and so they are inviting these commercial banks to sit with them and then try to find out what is really going on. So it is not that there is a reintroduction. They are rather trying to stop some illegal charges that may be going on. I want to say that what MPP should be doing is to be apologizing to Ghanaians. When it comes to issues about governance, issues about the economy, issues about the welfare of Ghanaians, they should be apologizing. Instead of trying to say that, oh, we are seeing appreciation of the CD because we laid the foundation, you only came and built on the foundation. They had 8 years. They governed this country for 8 years. And for these 8 years, we were seeing an increase in the CD. Even the more they constitute committee to investigate why the CD is depreciating, the more the CD keeps depreciating, to the extent that at a point we're like, His Excellency Mahmoud Bawumia promised us that he was going to arrest the CD and then lock it, throw the key. But now it appears the CD had rather arrested him because at a point we couldn't find him. He was virtually running away from the economy because what he touted when he was in opposition and when he now faced the reality, he couldn't defend it. His Excellency Mahmoud Bawumia, who was sold to us as an economist guru, was now running away from the economy and was now an expert in IT.
He was telling to you a message that he thought should be tied into the economy, that you cannot detach the effectiveness of digitalization with the economy. And so it was what he was touting, so that we go on that path to solve most of the leakages within the economy.
Nana Addo Dankwa Akufo-Addo, His Excellency, convinced the MPP at the time, in opposition, that he was bringing Bawumia, who was not a known MPP, to join MPP and serve as his running mate. Why? Because Bawumia at that time was working at the Bank of Ghana. At the time, the CD was performing so well, and he felt he was the one in charge. He had the magic to do it, and so he was bringing him. He sold Bawumia to the MPP and to Ghanaians as economic guru or whiskey. Just for him to come, somebody who did PhD in economics, I guess, was now running away from the economy. We're talking about digitalization. You saw what happened at the airport when he was, where he went to commission some gates.
The e-gate.
How the e-gate had to even embarrass him there. He was trying to open the gate using a card. It wouldn't open. But all I'm just saying is that, look, the MPP should just eat the humble pie and apologize to Ghanaians that, look, we thought managing an economy or managing a country was that easy. We noticed that it's not that easy at all. And that's what we learn in theory, in textbooks, sometimes when it comes to practice, it's not really so. You have to sometimes do excess to get what we learn in textbook, and credit NDC for what we are seeing in the performance of the city. Look, the NDC government is a government that cares for the people. It's a government that has a lot of vision. They have put in place policies that is seeing the city appreciate to the extent that is at the point they said, I think somewhere last week, say city was the best performance currency in the world. I mean, this is unprecedented in the world. And this is because of good policies. Look at Gold Board. How much money or revenue did gold or mineral income commission bring at the time of MPP? When you look at a year and you compare to
Minerals Commission.
Yes,
income.
You compare that to the 5 months that NDC is in power. I mean, you could see a vast difference. Whilst NDC, during the NDC era, we are bringing so much money. When you compare to that of the MPP, you will realize that, yes, these are people who really understand what we mean governance. Look, she also misled, again, viewers that NDC did not pay any money, and that is why the city is appreciating. When they came to power, the National Health Insurance Scheme was virtually collapsing under their care. And when NDC came, they paid 834 million Ghana cedis as a way of clearing the debt there. The school feeding program, we saw a lot of agitation before the election. When they came, they paid some arrears that were owed to caterers. And a number of data that have been paid that I'm not able to list all now. But all I am saying is that what MPP should be doing is to apologize to Ghanaians for that bad governance they gave us in the last 8 years.
But Dr. Bawumia has.
He
has apologized.
He has apologized. Yes, so she should not come and say that, oh, the city is appreciating because the MPP kept in policy. At the time when Bawumia was even saying that they were doing gold for oil, the more they even tried to constitute a committee, the more the city was going up, or the more the city was performing worse off. So you cannot say that you have 8 years to really show Ghanaians that you are a good manager of the economy. You couldn't do it. And within 5 months, we are seeing all the economic indicators pointing towards the right direction. We see the city appreciating with over 14%. We are seeing prices of fuel at the pumps coming down. We are seeing food prices coming down. Ghanaians are better off today than they were in or just in December. So for me, what I expect them to do
But the question, we're wrapping up, but the question has been, what are the major things that you have done? Maybe you're not spending, yes, but what else are the specific?
It's not that one,
because
they have increased
to claim 100% efforts within 5 months of economy showing good signs. That will be utterly unfair.
Yes, one of
the previous administration.
One of the reasons is putting in place the policy of Gold Board, or establishment of Gold Board. We know gold bring in a lot of foreign currency into this country. But at the time, or under the MPP, and of course the previous government, there wasn't so much monitoring of how much gold left our shores. We saw a lot of smuggling of gold by these, I don't know, I would say small-scale dealers in gold, and also certain political aligned people, smuggling gold without really declaring these, and also the income, the tax they are supposed to pay. All these things were not captured in government balance sheet. But now they have put in a policy that an individual, you cannot just go and buy gold and then be trading. You have to get license to be able to do that. I remember just recently they arrested some foreign nationals.
Yes.
I don't know whether it's in Lebanese, or I don't remember the nationals, but there were foreign nationals who were smuggling gold, and they were arrested because they have play foul to the law. So by putting this policy so that gold purchase is not just done haphazardly, but through a laid-down rule and regulation, they are bringing together all the dealers in gold. And we have seen an astronomical increase in the amount of gold that was exported, and then also the amount of income that it has brought to the country. I think the amount of money is around $2.7 billion or so as of now, compared to the NPP regime, where a whole year their income is just like maybe 2.1 or 2. Less than the amount that the NDC have. Okay, so within 5 months, we have brought a total income of $2.7 billion.
Averagely higher than what?
Far more than a whole year income. Okay. So these have kind of show our reserve. We have a lot of dollar in the system, and for that matter,
just a minute.
The CD performing.
Just a minute.
Well.
A minute.
Yeah.
No, go ahead.
So you see, Prof took time to bastardize Dr. Bawumia, saying all sort of things concerning her, and then, surprisingly, she reverted to the fact that Gold Board is helping with the CD. And I asked myself, are you aware of the genesis of Gold Board? Do you know how gold came into play when it comes to our CD appreciation? Are you aware it is Dr. Mahmoud Bawumia's brilliant idea of introducing gold as one of the ways of solving the CD depreciation? Are you aware? You are not aware.
Okay.
So you see, when we say that we are not against the CD's appreciation, we mean it.
So the genesis of Gold Board is Dr. Bawumia.
What I'm saying is that the brain behind the establishment of Gold Board is as a result of the proceeds that they saw the introduction of gold for oil policy do. That is why the NDC took a special attention to the fact that they need a gold board to regulate, to help solve the CD depreciation.
Okay, Prof, I don't think you have any rebuttal.
Well, I just want to say that what she's saying is not factual.
It is.
Gold Board was
for oil
part
was
of
gold for oil
NDC manifesto.
When
and
was
so if you come and say that because